Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's Fireside Chat. I'm Michael Simpson, the operating principal here in Long Beach, California with Keller Williams Coastal Properties. Boy, the summer's already gone. What happened to the summer? It just kind of went poof. Can't believe how quick it went. And here we stand getting ready for all the kids to go back to school this week, back to school time. And traditionally what I've noticed over the years in regards to this time of year is I notice a little bit of a lull. I notice a little bit of a tendency to take the foot off the gas, and I want to encourage you to not do that. I want to encourage you to instead put the foot on the gas. The reason is because here we are, September pretty much as of today, and we only have all of September and all of October. Whatever you do in the next 60 days is going to be the cash flow that you have most likely in November and December through into the holiday season and the end of the year. So I want to encourage you to put your foot on the gas because you've only got 60 days to hit your year-end goals, because if you don't do it by say November 1st, it's probably not going to close escrow by the end of the year if you haven't done it by then. So I want to encourage you to keep focusing on that and shooting for that. Put that accelerator on the gas for the next at least 60 days so that you can enjoy your holiday season at the end of the year. I was talking with an agent in the office last week, and they were sharing with me about their successes that they're having in their farms and just in lead generation in general. And there's this phenomena that they brought up that always comes up with top producers, where they'll talk about how they'll go out to, when they do what they need to do, things show up for them. And meaning that sometimes they go out into their farm, for example, and knock doors and for say 3 hours that day, and then they come back to their office and they have maybe a referral from a past client in their database has called and is sending them a referral. Well, it didn't have anything to do with them farming that particular day. They didn't get any business in their farm that day, but they happened to get a referral from somebody else on their phone because they did what they needed to do that day. And that's a common phenomenon. It's very strange. It's part of the secret. It's part of just putting it out into the universe that when you do what you need to do, things show up. I heard a couple comments about the Real Agile program as well last week, and there was a panel that Lori did, and Fran and Valerie and Jan did, and they were surprised. This particular comment I heard was they were surprised at how quick they are seeing results from that program, and I'm a little shocked by that, because we are not difficult creatures, species to figure out, guys. Right? We really aren't. If you think about it, let's say we're a husband and wife, and maybe I have one child, and I live in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. As soon as I have that second child, well, guess what? I'm probably going to need to do something in the near future with that home because I'm going to be out of room. And that's the kind of analytics that they're using. It's really not that difficult if you think about it. A marriage, a divorce, a job promotion, a career change. There's numerous things that we do over and over again. We're pretty easy to identify what we're going to do next. We really are. So that program is just that. It's taking that farming that I just talked about in that first scenario, and then it's handing them this list of people that are raising their hand with a high probability that they're going to do something first, and it's saying go target those folks first and foremost. Go talk to them first and foremost. Now, if you take, and I don't care, by the way, if you use Real Agile or don't use Real Agile, what program you work is not my topic. It's do the work. That's the point I'm making today. If you take any list, I don't care what it is, and you go door knock that list, and then you mail them postcards, and the postcard steers them to a website, giving them the opportunity to get a free report on how much their home is worth, for example, and then they opt in at that website, and now you can call them, and now you can email them on a regular basis, and now you can continue to mail to them, and you continue to door knock to them. Guys, if you're doing all those things, guess what? You're going to have a home run. I don't care what program it is. That has been proven over years and years and years and years and years and years and years in this business and in different types of industries over and over again. It is not rocket science. I think we overcomplicate it. And that's my point. Don't do that. Keep it simple. Just do what you need to do. The other reason that you want to keep it simple is the MRAA. We talk about our database and how you want to feed your database. And the MRAA book, if you haven't read it, you should definitely want to read it. It talks about for every 12 people in your database, you should get 2 transactions. You should get 1 referral and 1 sale from every 12 that you have in your database. So what that means is that if you have 100 in your database, that's 16 or so transactions that you should be getting from that database. 16 transactions. Do the math. If you only have 100 people in your database, do it with your average sales price, average commission. You do the math, it's a significant amount of income sitting right there in your database. And that's what I mean when I say keep it simple. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to door knock every day for 4 hours. I'm going to cold call every day for 4 hours. It doesn't have to be that. It can be as simple as feeding your database through PTA, through soccer, through whatever niche you have, baseball, softball, whatever. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but you find what's good for you and do it. That's the point. Just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. The other thing about the MRAA book that it talks about is 65% of the time, guys, in the database, when we're talking in the database world, those sellers do not interview more than 1 agent, 65% of the time. So what does that mean? That means that you just have to be the first to be to the table. You have to be the one that comes to mind when the parties decide, okay, yeah, you know what, we think we're ready to sell. We'd like to list our home. Who do you know? Your name needs to be that one. That's it. Pretty simple. I mean, it's that simple. So just keep it that simple and go get your unfair share. You know, in bold they talk about, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the video clips. There's one on YouTube on this KW Coastal staff site that you should take a look at. It's only a couple minutes, but what they're doing is they're literally throwing money on one person will lay down and say, I'm a money magnet, I'm a money magnet, I'm a money magnet, and they throw money on this person. And the purpose of that is because it's powerful and it's important you believe that you can do this. You have to think, I'm going to win, not I'm going to lose. You have to think, I can do it, not I can't do it. You have to just believe it deep in your heart that you're going to win, that you're going to succeed. That is so powerful and it's so important. And then if you do the work, it shows up. So if you believe in yourself and you schedule the time and you time block it and do the work, you will have a tremendous amount of success in this business. But you have to want it so bad. Somebody in the ALC clinic last week said something about you have to want it so bad that it's like somebody taking one of your children away. And you know, the whole room went, oh my gosh. And I've heard something like that before. I think it was more like, imagine somebody coming up to one of your kids and kicking them right in the stomach. I mean, just imagine that. What would you do? I don't even want to speak for what you would probably do, but you would probably be, you would probably not have anything to do with it. You would not tolerate it at all. That's what you need to do with your lead generation time. You need to schedule it and block it, and it needs to be that serious, because let's face it, guys, if you're not doing it, then you really are taking something away from one of your family members and possibly yourself that you're saying you're going to give to them. So it needs to be that serious, okay? The market determines the number of people who will be successful, not which ones. So what I mean by that is that the market can say, well, we're going to have only this amount of transactions this month, this quarter, this year, whatever, and that may be true, but it doesn't say who gets those transactions. You have every right to as many one of those transactions as you want, and you get to determine whether you want those transactions or not. The market determines the number of people who will be successful, not which ones. You get to decide if you'll be the one. Thanks for watching. See you next week.